Hello everyone, welcome to Raj Malhotra IAS Institute. So, you know that this is the weekly ethics series in which we discuss one concept related to ethics, and I have drafted this series in such a manner that I will link today's topic from the previous topic and carry forward, so that even if you keep on watching these weekly lectures, you will have almost 80 to 90% understanding of the entire theory related to the ethics paper, General Studies paper 4. If I give you a small recap, in the previous lecture we talked about what is ethics, where does ethics originate from, is Indian society ethical. Now, before we switch to the determinants of ethics, before we switch to sources of ethics, we will first talk about difference between ethics and morality in this topic. So today we are going to discuss what is difference between ethics and morality. See, when in the upcoming videos on the Sundays, we will be covering one topic that is known as sources of ethics. And among these sources of ethics, we will be talking about various things such as law, such as conscience, alright, such as social norms, religion, values, and one more thing we will be talking about, and that is morality. So, morality is a source of ethics. But the question is, why are we taking ethics and morality discussion here in this video at this point itself? Well, the answer is simple, that if you recall the previous class, I told you that ethics, they are set standards, or you can call them as established standards. What do you understand by set or established standards? Set or established standards means these standards are universal. And what does these standards do? These standards either prescribe what you should do to make your action good or ethical or desirable, what you should avoid to prevent your action from becoming unethical, undesirable or bad action. Now, morality or morals on the same line are set of standards. They are set of standards, and they also provide guidelines to tell you what actions are desirable, what actions are undesirable, what you should do to make your actions desirable, or what you should avoid to make your action from being undesirable or bad actions. Then what is the difference? If they both are the standards, then what is the difference? So let's evaluate that difference in this video now. So if you look at morality, morality emerges from the Latin roots. The etymological roots of morality is in Latin language. It emerges from the term called mores, and mores is also something that has to do with conduct, with character, with habit, etc. So, morality is the set of standards. It is a set of standards that prescribe or describe. अगर वो prescribe कर रहा है तो it is going to lay down guidelines as what you should incorporate in your actions to make your actions desirable. And if they are describing, then they tell you whether the action that has been conducted that action is ethical or that action is good or bad, right? So they are the set of standards that prescribe or describe a human action to be desirable, good, acceptable. All right. So very much the definition looks almost similar to the ethics definition that we looked at last Sunday. All right. So then the fundamental question that we face now is, what is the difference between ethics and morality? The only difference between ethics and morality is that morality applies to a narrow sense. It applies to narrower sense. It has a narrower scope. What do you mean by narrower scope? It means that morality can be of individual. Morality can be of society. Morality can be of constitution. Morality can be of any other group. Whereas ethics, it is universal. It is universal. There is nothing like it's my ethics, it's your ethics. Ethics are universally accepted as true. Morality is narrower in scope. Morality can be of an individual. Like for example, if you look at the Robin Hood story. So Robin Hood, what he used to do, he used to steal from the rich and distribute among the poor. So this action is good action only according to the individual Robin Hood. So it's Robin Hood's morality that he will take by hook or by crook the wealth from the rich and distribute it among the poor. So it is individual morality. Coming to the societal morality, alright, this is known as societal morality. Like for example, the Ayyappa followers, they believe that the women should not be entering, the women in her reproductive age, she should not be entering into the temple of Lord Ayyappa. That is societal morality. It is of a particular society. Similarly, all the principles and standards that are enshrined in the Constitution of India, they are called constitutional morality. For example, if you look at the Constitution of India, the Constitution of India very explicitly says that there should not be any kind of discrimination on the basis of sex, caste, creed, religion when accessing a public place. A temple is a public place. So you cannot discriminate on the basis of sex. So constitutional morality allows women to access Ayyappa temple. Societal morality prevent it. Getting my point? But those morality that becomes universal, which are universally considered to be morals, only they become ethics. So this is the fundamental difference between ethics and morality. Now, coming upon the association of ethics with morality, there are multiple associations that can be seen. For example, there can be action 1. This action 1 can be moral but unethical. It is moral because it is moral always with respect to either an individual or society or any institution or group for that matter. Like for example, if you look at the Rajasthani tribal society, alright, in Rajasthan there is a tribal society, and that tribal society has a prescription for child marriage. You know, there are 2 stages in marriage, in child marriage. One is called Vivah and second is called Gona. So पहले विवाह होता है और जब बच्ची प्यूबर्टी को हिट करती है, she leaves her parental home and go and live with her husband. So this is child marriage. So child marriage is considered moral according to the morals of this tribal society that is located in Rajasthan. So this act is moral. Child marriage is moral according to this society, but if you look through the lens of ethics, it is unethical. Because universally, it is generally considered that people should get married only when they are above a certain age, when they are not just bodily mature but also mentally mature. Alright, so this act will become moral but unethical, but moral with respect to the tribal society of Rajasthan. Then there may be actions which may be ethical but immoral. But again, this will be always with respect to some entity X, which can be an individual, which can be a society, which can be an institution. Like for example, if you look at the Motor Vehicle Act in India, if you look at the Motor Vehicle Act in India, this act is invoked when you violate a traffic principle, and punishment when you violate a traffic principle is an ethical act. Alright, if you are violating a law, you should be punished for that. So punishment for any kind of violation, it is an ethical act. Alright, but now if you look at the conditions of Indian society, we are kind of poor people. We are kind of poor people. And when you are imposing the hefty fines under the Motor Vehicle Act upon these poor people, it is not good with respect to the Indian scenario. So here, this act will become immoral according to Indian society. So again, narrower scope. So punishment for violation, it is ethical, but considering Indian scenario, the hefty fines that you impose for these violation, that is immoral. Alright, then other acts, ethical acts, which are also moral. So these you can consider that those acts which are ethical otherwise, and also the society also accept them. Like for example, respecting your elderlies. It is an ethical act, and it is immoral also, because in various societies, in almost every society, the elderly is considered as a source of wisdom, and being a source of wisdom, this person or this elderly must be respected. So there are certain acts which may be moral but unethical when you look at that act from the lens of a particular society. There may be some acts which may be ethical but immoral, but then again immorality is determined with respect to the lens of a particular society. And then the third are those actions which can be both ethical and moral. If the society accepts the universal principle as it is, that act will become moral act as well as ethical act. So I hope the difference and the relationship between ethics and morality is quite clear to you. Alright, so that's all from this video. Alright, we'll meet next week again, and next week we are going to talk about either the determinants of ethics or the sources of ethics. We'll also cover the topics such as what is conduct, what is character, what is habit. Alright, so that's all from this video. Have a great day ahead. Take care. Bye.